Welcome back to Luflime TGM, the best Reddit readings from the male gender. My name is Lachlan, and today we are going to be on the subreddit ChoosingBeggars. Now our first post comes from user Synergy, except the S is a 5 and the E is a 3. PC Beggar. She's taking all of these personal computers personally. I work for a small IT service provider. One day, a customer decides to replace all of their old PCs and screens in their office, a total of 15 PCs and 28 screens. We order them for the customer, devices are delivered to our office, and I install and prepare them before I deliver them to the customer to set them up. One day, I'm loading the first bulk of PCs and screens into my car to deliver them. A woman, probably in her late 30s, watches me for a while before approaching me. "Are you giving those away?" "Pardon me? Can I have one?" "I'm sorry, these are for a customer. I can't give them away." "You should really just give me one. It's for my son. He needs a new computer." Again, they're for a customer. They're already paid for. Yeah, I don't get the whole just... You see someone loading something up and you're just like, oh, you're giving it away. Yeah, that just makes... That's total sense, guys. Just, honestly, for real, every time I stop by, like, I see you guys loading something into a truck, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you giving that away? And I'll just take it off your hands. Just, yeah. Next post comes from user 8-Bit Clint. Friend in a group chat mentions that he's getting a Switch Lite. Someone asks him if they can give him the Switch for free. Red is choosing beggar, purple is friend. Choosing beggar. My brother needs a travel. Anyone had a Switch? My brother, blank, needs your Switch to play Animal Crossing and make him go trip. No, go to GameStop and buy one. I got my Nintendo Switch and there's only one console. I'm not giving him my Switch. My brother didn't like server errors and slow internet. Too bad, I don't care. Yeah, the same thing here, like, just saying that it's yours now, that's super entitled. Like, I don't know why people are like this, but anyway, the next post comes from user Beefcakes4. Choosing Beggar doesn't want to pay to have her vehicle diagnosed. I've worked in the customer service business a long time, so I've gotten a lot of Choosing Beggar stories, and I've been reading these and listening to r/ a lot lately, so I figured I'd finally post one from my current job. By the way, his link's going to be in my description. So for context, I work for a call center for a bunch of dealerships. We basically do scheduling for services and get pricing and general information for customers, so the advisors that are actually at the dealerships can help the customers already there. We are basically glorified receptionists. I get a lot of people who feel they are entitled to a lot more than they actually are, or people who just generally don't like the cost of fixing their car, so I have a lot of stories. But here are two that stick out. So I take a call, give the general greeting. Choosing Beggar starts off pretty normal, just needs an oil change. We get through the exchange pretty easily, and then she asks for the price. Me. So semi is X, while full synthetic is X. So it depends on what you normally use. I shouldn't add there there is normally conventional oil, but this dealership didn't offer it any longer. A lot of places don't. She sort of screams, "What? I don't remember ever paying that much." I'm sure she's lying, but I check her history anyway. Maybe she was just getting conventional when it was still around. Nope. Previous charges seem to be around what we charge for semi, except a few visits back, which was probably because she complained. Well, there could have been a special, or your advisor gave you a discount, but these are the prices that they usually have. I'm sorry. She sounded like she was starting to cry. Well, can't you give me another discount? I can't really afford it. Please. I'm sorry, I do not have the authority to give discounts at all. I really just do the scheduling. You could always talk to your advisor when you come in, but I can't promise they will. It'll probably be blank. Seriously, I come there all the time. Isn't there any discount you could offer me? I mean, I've gotten one before. So we did have a discount. However, it was buy two, get one free basically. But it's like over $100 up front. Well, we do have one. You pay X and get 3 over the course of 2 years. Basically, buy 2, get 1 free. That's not a discount! I just told you I can't even afford the previous prices. What makes you think that would help? Please, I really need some help. Can't you ask someone? I'm really sorry that is the best we have. I really am not authorized to change the price at all. You can talk to someone when and if it comes up. So did you want to get scheduled or not? Fine. Yes, let's just set it up. I need to get this done. We got it. We got through it all. And at the end, if I didn't have to say it, I wouldn't have. Is there anything else I could help you with? Well, my car is actually making a weird noise. Can you have them check that out too? Which basically throws everything off because that's a heavy line service, which means it would affect the time we set and mess the whole appointment up. Plus, there is a diagnostic fee. I explained that to her and that it would cost like $150 for diagnosis. Why? It's already in there. Can't they just look at it and tell me what's wrong? You guys don't care at all about your customers. You just care about the money. Well, it's kind of how businesses work. I think. Just that's just my opinion, though. Like, lady, I apologize, but it's usually not something they can just look at. It takes time to diagnose issues. Now full on crying. But my car is gonna break down if it's not fixed. Why can't you guys just help someone without taking money? That's all you guys care about. You really don't care about your customers at all. I think I've never seen like an employee actually care about their customers. Like, they fake it just to get like tips and stuff, but this shouldn't be new to you, Choosing Beggar. I mean, you can try and ask them. She cut me off. No, I won't ask them because they will just tell me they need $250 to just tell me what is wrong with it. You guys are so mean. You never want to help your customers. Whatever. If my car breaks down, it's your fault. And she hung up. Like, I understand dealerships are expensive, but it wasn't like her car was new or anything. So going somewhere else wasn't going to mess up her warranty or something. And like, yeah, my guys taking an hour or more of their time need to get paid for the work they do. If I wouldn't have gotten in trouble for telling her to go elsewhere, that's cheaper instead of trying to get name brand service for off-brand price. Sorry that was so long. Yeah, it's fine, Opie. I don't get the entitlement that these people have, dude. It's just mind-boggling, dude. I can't. This post was made by user/I'm-silent1. First time here. This person also breaks multiple YouTube rules. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I'll fight if someone attacks me. I don't take sponsorship below $500, so please, don't come to me. You're a crazy person and you are rude at the same time, because I would take money regardless of... And sponsorships aren't even that hard. You just gotta say, oh, I love this game so much, and you should go check it out. There you go. Easy money that takes 2 minutes of your time. These people, man, I can't. Now this one is going to be the last Reddit reading. This post was created by user/BrizzyComics. The choir secretary who didn't just want something for nothing. She wanted everything. I'm posting this story for 2 reasons, blah blah blah. 1, I love telling it. 2, I hope it gets picked by r/. Yeah, again, I'm gonna have r/ in my description. Go check him out. He's a pretty good guy. I graduated from a nice high school that had a pretty decent arts program. Band, theater, visual arts, and choir. What just happened to my voice? The devil came over me. Visual arts and choir were all very well supported and thus got some nice attention from the community, which often led to some impressive productions and ticket revenue. My focus was visual arts, so I did my share of cartoons for the school newspaper, yearbook illustrations, posters for shows and activities, that kind of thing. I went to art college and was working professionally not long after I graduated. In the time that I had been away at college, my old high school's art program blew up, especially the choir. When I was in high school, the choir was known for a big spring variety show and a very nice Christmas concert held at a local church. There was maybe anywhere from 24 to 30 students at most in each of the various classes, a cappella, men's choir, women's choir, and there was an elite show choir as well. Now, the choral classes combined numbered in hundreds of students, making their shows spectacular events that drew nationwide attention. There were even bus tours that would bring in audience members from all over the state and beyond. The Christmas concert, in particular, had become a massive event that drew in tons of students who previously might not have had been interested in singing, who wanted to take part in these hugely popular shows. So a high school that formerly focused a lot on football and other athletics was now seen as that choir school. The vocal music department was given huge sway as they were now the school's big moneymaker, ka-ching. Once word got out that I, an alumni, was an alum? No, an alumni. I know what it was saying. Was working as a professional designer, I was approached by the choir teacher to design the poster art for the events. I was glad to do it, as I was also active in youth ministry at the time, as well as teaching some summer art courses at the local museum, so I knew a number of choir students through those programs. My contribution to the choir was as much in support of those amazing kids as it was my alma mater. I don't know how to say it. It means like, I'm pretty sure alma mater means like forte or something, like my dream, kind of. Wait, no. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it makes sense because someone who graduates from someplace is a alumni, so alma alumni makes sense. Anyway, back to the story. The choir teacher understood that I was a professional and did not work for free, as did the production committee. I appreciated that and so provided all the artwork they needed at a reduced rate. Enter the choir secretary, choosing beggar extraordinaire. I love that. That's just like the little details that make it so much better. Anyway, let's get back to it. I don't think anybody honestly remembers where this woman came from. She was old when I was in high school and didn't appear to age once she had achieved her present level crone. Imagine someone with a little cottage made out of candy tucked away in the Russian woods, and you have the general idea of who she was. The choir secretary had been compared to a cancerous tumor that had gotten so deeply embedded into the system that it would cause more harm than good to try to have it removed. A real charmer. Yeah. Very big charmer. I'll be right back. I need some water. Okay, I am back. Now, where were we? I think it said a real charmer. Yeah. Quick aside, the art I provided for the choral shows included a promotional poster, program cover, newspaper ad, and even the silkscreen design for the t-shirts and sweatshirts available for both the students to purchase and those the audience members could order. This was all done well before the advent of computer art programs as we know them today. So everything was done by hand. That including laying out the typeface, designing custom logos for for each production, and in many cases creating individual art for programs and shirts rather than just repurposing the poster art. I don't know, I can't speak, whatever. I even made the poster an 11 by 17 design so the choir could print those out themselves using their office copy machine. The program, newspaper ad, and shirt designs I had to set up as a professional layout with crop makings and spec overlays so each specific printer would know how the design was meant to run. It was a ton of work that usually knocked a week or two out of my schedule, but I was always happy to do it for the kids, the school, and the teacher who was a gem. For the entire package, I only asked $150. Pretty cheap in my opinion, but I don't know art, which more or less covered materials and a bit of my time. Even though this was in the 1990s, that was one hell of a deal. In any case, everyone seemed pretty pleased with what I was providing, especially at that price. Everyone, that is, except the choir secretary. For this story, let's call her Madam Secretary. Madam Secretary was livid that I was charging such an outrageous sum for my work, and to her mind was raping the chorus of its funds. Okay, I don't like that terminology. I just don't like it. Like, you could say literally anything but that, and it just comes out awkward and weird if you say raping the chorus of its funds. Just me though. I graduated college in 1991, and in short order I became known around the old alma mater as the poster guy. Framed posters of my art for the various Christmas concerts and spring spectaculars lined the choir room. For all I know, they may still be up there to this day, but bit by bit, I noticed that the kids who used to wave and smile when I swung by the choir office to drop off my finished artwork were starting to sneer and grumble as I came in, and whisper angrily to each other when they thought I wasn't looking. What in the world? Former cries of, "That's awesome!" and "Our new poster is the stuff," had dwindled to, "Yeah, that poster is good and all, but that guy, man." Turns out Madam Secretary had been complaining loudly about how I was ripping off the choir. See, yeah, you could have literally said that, ripping off the choir. But I just don't get it. With my exorbitant billing? Okay, people are smart. I know brain. What is this? I know brain. Of a price or amount charged unreasonably high. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, why would you say anything? No brain for me. And she made sure to do so in front of the students, other faculty members, and even a few of the parents who donated money to the shows. It wasn't long before everyone saw me as a scheming villain who was taking the majority of the choir's total earnings in exchange for a couple measly scribbles I apparently could crank out in a few minutes. No. Why is it just a common thing to just assume that art is so easy to do? Art takes a lot of time, and a lot of people think that you could just, if you have the art skills, you could just do art in 5 minutes and come up with a masterpiece. No, it takes like at least an hour. Even the best people. I don't get it. Anyway, I was just about ready to tell Madam Secretary where she could go with her posters when she beat me to it. Oh, I read that in advance and I thought she said when she beat me. I was like, okay, this just took a dark turn. But I got the phone call around the usual time that I'd given the specs for the art needed for the Spring Spectacular show. The central theme / title of that year's show, along with performance dates, ticket prices, when the tickets go on sale, that sort of thing. But this time, Madam Secretary was all puffed up and even snootier than her usual self. I'm not calling you to tell you what we need for the spring poster. I'm contacting you to tell you that we will not be needing your services for this production. Oh, I could already taste the deliciousness of this one. I had been a professional designer for years at that point and had worked with any number of clients. I'd done work for large publishers, mom and pop businesses. Okay. Just stop talking, Lachlan. And everyone in between. I had seen my share of the slimy person who always wanted something for nothing. First thing they do is burn their bridges. Okay, let's do this thing. Really? I prompted. And why is that? Next comes the big surprise of her revealing they have found an alternative source for their work. Usually someone indescribably underqualified who will supposedly do whatever the slimy person demands free of charge. My voice is killing me. I need to get back into this business of YouTube. As it just so happened, she sneered, one of the students' mother had volunteered to do the poster this year, and she'll be doing it for free. Yeah, I can't wait to find out how bad this thing is. That's what I guess she's gonna say. What I'm thinking she's gonna say. I had to press my hand over my mouth to keep from bursting out loud. I knew all too well how this probably came out. Yep, I was right. Far too often at some board meeting, parent-teacher planning session, or someone gleefully volunteers to help and never follows through. So at one such meeting, Madam Secretary brought up the topic of the simply ghastly, I tell you, amount it was costing to have the posters done, and sure enough, some chipper mom chimed in, "Oh, I could do that for you. I love arts and crafts." This would be months before anything was actually needed, so that monetary flight of fancy would disintegrate in a hurry once the time came for it to be a reality. My next part was to feign enthusiasm. It wasn't hard. I was dying to relish what was coming. "Oh, is that right?" I beamed. "That sounded like a wonderful opportunity for you. So this mom will be taking care of everything then?" "Absolutely everything," Madam Secretary snapped. "So we won't be needing a thing from you. Thank you very much. Well, congratulations. I guess I'll tend to my other commissions and see you on opening night." "Yes, well, goodbye." Click. All I had to do next was sit back and wait. I already knew what was going to happen, even though Madam Secretary didn't. Sure enough, when the mother was contacted and told to begin working on the project, she had no idea what Madam Secretary was talking about or where this was coming from. When reminded, my mom suddenly realized that she'd have to follow through on something she never thought she'd actually have to do, and launch into a whole spiel about how she never expected to be so busy with this, that, and the other thing. And there was her kids, and her work, and blah blah blah, so just back off, lady, and go find someone else. Of course, now Madam Secretary was going to have to find another designer, and she'd be damned if she'd be going back to me. So she started shopping around. Boy, was she in for a case of sticker shock. Everywhere she went, at every print shop, copy center, and graphics house, she got the same thing. "You want what? On only this short notice? You expect to get it for how much?" She was laughed out of every place she went. Nobody could believe her audacity or her ignorance about her own situation. I know this because one of the people she approached was a friend of mine, who was art director for the local newspaper. When she went to him, he laid it all on the line for her. Ouch. Madam Secretary, you need to realize that no one is going to give you what you want at the ludicrous price you're asking, and there is no way in hell they would crank it all for you in short notice. Well, she was not having that and retorted, "That's absurd. I know what can and cannot be in a week or two because the man who is doing this before did it all in that amount of time. I don't see why you can't too. When the art director asked, "Why aren't you working with him then? Scheduling conflict? No, he was charging an outrageous confiscatory rate of $150 an hour? No, of course not," she told him, "for the whole thing." After staring wide-eyed at her, waiting for the punchline that never came, the art director lady, I don't know who this guy you were working with, which was a lie. He knew it was me, and he knew the hands and knees and beg him to do it. "You're not going to get so much as a mock-up for 3x5 print ad for that amount of money." Sure enough, the phone rang, and even sooner than I'd expected. Madam Secretary was calling to give me the splendid news that it turned out I would be able to do all the art for the choir show after all. Isn't that just wonderful? And of course, you'll still be charging us only $150, right? I'd been practicing my response and gave her my best shocked and disappointed voice. "Oh dear, for only if I had known. Once you told me you wouldn't be needing the poster art, I went ahead and began work on my next project. I can't set it aside now. What a shame." "Can't you just do our art first and then go back to the other one?" she prodded. That's entitled, okay? That's like, yeah, that's the definition of entitled. This was the part I was waiting for. If it were up to me, I would, but I'm afraid I can't. You see, I'm working under contract for a magazine in New York on a double-page spread. The deadline is set and isn't flexible. Basically, it's the same kind of layout I do for your poster. Just the poster. It's a $1,500 job. There was a moment of stunned silence on the other end before she gave me a small, What? "Oh yes," I told her. "I have several clients like this publication. Some in New York, some in Chicago, a few in LA. They can be very understanding." She took the bait and jumped at that. "If they're as understanding as you say, then surely they'll let you stop what you're doing for them so you can contribute to your alma mater. Full points for going for the guilt trip." But I was ready for that. "Oh, but Madam Secretary, you're mistaken. They're understanding in that each year at about this time I ask for a small break from their assignments so I can do your artwork. When you told me you didn't need me, they were just thrilled to find out I can begin their jobs earlier than anticipated. Well, I must get back to it. Good luck finding another artist." I hung up before she could beg me further. In the end, she corralled some students to do the poster, and it looked horrendous. I'm told ticket sales dropped a bit because most people couldn't even tell what the poster was advertising. When Madam Secretary called me the following year for the choral show art, I informed her my rate had gone up to $250. And you know what? She never said a word. That is so passive-aggressive, I love it. She's like, "Oh, I took the time off." They're understanding because they let me take the time off to do your artwork, but because you screwed it up, now I can't get it back. That's so passive-aggressive. Whoever this guy, did I not just upvote? Okay, upvote. I can't. Anyway, that is the end of Bluefline TGM. That is the end of r/ChoosingBeggars. I don't know why I couldn't speak at the end. But yeah, that is the end of r/ChoosingBeggars. If you like the video, click the like button. If you dislike the video, click the dislike button. It still gets me views and still gets me more support, even if it's feeding off hate. Again, I would rather have people click the like button though, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, see you in the next one. See ya, guys.